World Fight fans here with a very special guest this evening, the one and only Tiara T Baby Brown. What's going on, champ? How's life?
Hey, life is good. Life is great. Every day that God blesses me with another day is a blessing.
Right, absolutely. So, 33 years old. You were raised and born in Fort Myers, Florida.
Absolutely.
Okay. So, you were raised by your mother, Sharon. Um, can you talk to us about that?
I
You were
actually have two
raised.
moms. I have two moms.
Absolutely. So, your mother and her wife raised you. Can you talk to us a little about that? Growing up as a kid, how was that?
Well, shoot, back in the 80s, it wasn't a cool thing growing up with homosexual parents. Me and my sisters, we used to get bullied a lot. I used to get into a lot of fights about things like that. But we're in a whole different era now. People just don't care. Everything is whatever pro-choice, whatever you want to do. But back then, back in the day, it was a struggle being a kid with two moms. But now it's all good.
Right. Okay. So you started boxing at 13 years old. How'd you get into boxing, champ?
So two of my older cousins were boxers, and I used to go to the gym just to work out because I played ball. So I used to go to the gym, and then eventually I started, liking it. I like getting hit, like punching, punching and throwing blows, and I just kept doing it. Fell in love with the game.
Okay. So you went to Fort Myers High School. You graduated from there. You did track and field there. You did cross country. You got a scholarship. You actually went to was that Columbus State?
Columbus
How
State
was that? Talk
University.
about that.
It's in
How
Columbus, Georgia.
Columbus? How was that, champ?
Oh man, some of the best years of my life were in college. That college experience, leaving home, going to a new state where you don't know anybody. Everything that you see on TV from movies at like college is true. Everything about it is 100% true. I grew a lot. I learned a lot. It was a great experience in my life.
Okay. So you were actually inducted into the Athletic Hall of Fame in your high school. Also, you
I
give
was.
back scholarships to your high school that you started out of your own pocket. Can you talk to us about that? What motivated you to do that?
Indeed. So I feel like every day I wake up, I ask God to bless me so that I might be a blessing to others, right? And I just felt like when I got inducted into the Hall of Fame, I have my own day every year. There's Tiara Brown Day in my own city, and I just felt like, okay, what can I do to make that amazing? Like it's already a great thing that I have my own day, but it's not just about me. It's like what can I do to give back to the community that built me? So a light bulb went off in my mind. I was like, well, I can give away a scholarship. So every year I give away $1,000 to a senior that is getting ready to graduate, a senior athlete. And this year, actually, I was able to give away $2,000 to 1,000
Wow.
for one athlete, 1,000 for another athlete. With the help of I tag team with Mr. Keith White from the Fort Myers Police Athletic League, and we did it
Right.
together. It's about sowing seeds. It's about
Shout out
planting
to Keith
seeds,
White.
and shout out to Keith White. It's about giving back and just being a positive influence, a positive role model in these young people's lives, especially when you grow up from the hood and you feel like no one makes it out. You feel like the only way you can make it out is to gang bang or sell drugs or or whore around, stuff like that. We have to be a positive influence to these kids, showing them that hey, I did it, y'all can do it. It's not gonna be easy, but nothing in life is supposed to be easy. Everything worth fighting for is worth going at, worth getting.
Absolutely, champ. That's amazing, man. We're glad we got someone like you out here putting in the footwork and inspiring the youth and still staying strong, through your own battles at the same time, champ. 2000, let's see, 2010, your brother Jermaine was murdered. Can we talk about that and what were you going through at the time? Obviously, we that could have been the reason why you were motivated to be a police officer. Can we just talk about what you were going through at the time?
Indeed. So I always had a dream of being a U.S. Marshal, right? Like kicking down the doors of the biggest, toughest bad guys. I'm talking about the drug dealers that sling weight, not local drug dealers. I'm talking about bad guys who do drug trafficking, sex trafficking, and on a big scale. That's always been my dream, right? But when my brother was murdered, right, it brought me to reality that we need change in local police departments. I felt like at that time they didn't do enough. I just that was my personal feeling. I felt like they didn't do enough to find out what really happened because the streets were talking. And you know, 9 times out of 10, when the streets talking, you should listen because most of the things that they say are real. If you're looking for somebody in the streets telling you this person did it, this person had something to do with it, you should pay attention to that. As a police officer, that's what I do. When the streets tell me things, I take heed because 9 times out
Absolutely.
of 10 it's true. And a lot of things were not handled the way I feel that they should have been handled in my brother's murder. And it made me want to be just a simple regular boots to the ground patrol officer, to make a change in somebody's life, to make sure that no other family or no other parent went through what I went through when my brother was taken away.
Wow, champ. You came a long way from that mentality, champ. You came a long
I
way.
have.
Let's talk about it, champ. You won nationals 3 times. You won world gold in China. You won bronze. How what was the feeling like for you at those moments? What was
I
the
think
feelings like
that
that you were going through?
I think that like all those wins that I get, right, I always take my brother with me. Because he will always tell his homeboys, you better chill out for my sister. I call my sister on you. My sister come throw them hands. And
Absolutely.
everything that I do for my family. I do for all the people
That's
who
love.
believe in me, all the people who struggle, all the people who have given up on their dreams, all the people who were told you're nothing, you will never succeed, you won't make it. I do it for all of them because
Right.
these are all things that I was told. So every win, I'm fighting for all of that.
So you qualified for the Olympics twice. You didn't really get there. Take us to your mind state then.
So
How
when
was
the
that for you? Was
Olympics
that a
came
discouraging
around,
time?
it was because when the Olympics came around, when I was trying to get in, it was only 3 weight classes, but it wasn't my weight class. So I went up to a higher weight class with the bigger girls trying to cut it. And I would always get almost there and then it just wouldn't work out for me, being a smaller person. But then I would go back to my weight and demolish everybody. So I just think
Absolutely.
that it wasn't in the cards. Like God didn't have that for me. He had me on a different path. And at the end of the day, sometimes things that we want is not what God has planned for us. And you just
Right.
gotta chop it up and swallow that.
Right. Got to keep going sometimes. So your amateur career, you were 42 wins, um, 15 losses. You turned pro September 2016. You're now 10-0 with 6 knockouts. You actually have a fight scheduled for September 25th. That's the reason why we're here, champ. Your opponent is to be announced. Can you tell us, how frustrating training can be when you're probably training for someone and to be announced? How is that frustrating for you, or is it just normal for you?
Well, first off, I actually have more fights than that. I have 2 fight books. So
Okay,
some of those fights aren't
correct me,
aren't
champ. I
what you're
stand
reading.
corrected.
Yeah,
Correct
I
me.
have over a
Shout it
hundred
out.
amateur fights.
Okay,
Yeah. Um, but as far as this September 25th, I had an opponent. I believe she was from Argentina,
okay,
and something happened with her visa, so she can't come over here now. So now they are working on me another opponent. I'm 100% confident in Side
okay,
Nation. Shout out to Side Nation. I'm
right.
100%
Shout out to Side
confident that they're
Nation.
gonna get me. Yeah, shout out to my man. I'm 100% confident they're gonna get me another opponent.
Right,
I'm the co-main event. I'm working hard 24/7. You will never find another female that works harder than me. I'm sorry, I'm just throwing that out to everybody that's listening. You will
as
never
you
find
should.
another female that work harder than me. A lot of dudes don't work harder than me. It's my mindset. I don't want nobody to work harder than me. I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I train for about 2 hours, then I go to work. Then as soon as I get off work, I come back to the gym. It's dedication, determination, and grit all day.
What could we expect from Tiara that night? What could we expect from you on the 25th, champ?
Oh, you can most definitely expect the knockout, hands
Okay.
down.
Is
Because
that to the
for so
body?
long I've been,
Is that to the body or the head, champ? We know you love that body shot, that left one.
I love the body shot, my left hook. It's that Danny Garcia hook that I be hitting up
Absolutely.
with. Boom.
It's
But you know
beautiful.
what?
You do it so smoothly. You do it so smoothly, champ. You just smooth when you in the ring, champ. I promise you. When I'm watching you, just do everything so smoothly. You're not overzealous about too much. You're very smooth and articulate about your punches, and I like that about your boxing style.
I appreciate you. And I give credit to so many. I watch so many boxers, not just current boxers, old boxers. They don't even have to be American. They can be from Mexico. They can be from Ireland. It doesn't matter where they're from. Russia, Germany. I watch boxing, and I take from a lot of great fighters. I take look. Like Floyd said, he take a little bit of this. I put it together, shake it up. That's what I do. That's how
Right.
I fight. I can bang if you want to bang. If you want to box, I'm a boxer. But I always like looking good because boxing is a sweet science, and you have
Absolutely.
to look good. It's like dancing. When I fight, it's like I'm in my mind. I'm in my own rhythm. It's like a dance to me.
Right. I could see that. I could see that. Correct me if I'm wrong, champ. You joined the police force when you in 2000, what, 15? Metropolitan Police Department in DC.
Shout out to DC Police, MPD.
Right. So in DC, they called you officer friendly because of all the love and just the humanitarian work you put in. Can you talk to us about that, champ? Being an African American woman, being a cop, being in the ghetto policing. Talk to us, champ. How was that for you, and what was the experience like?
So where I grew up, when I grew up as a kid, it was like the same area I patrolled. So for me, I was right at home. For me, I knew how to talk to the people. I knew how to engage in the people. I could go by myself to plenty places and know that the streets are gonna have my back because I always had the back for the streets. I always had the back. I always had the street back. Regardless of if I locked somebody up, they knew I did it out of love to save them. Regardless of whatever happened, I was always there for the people. I always listened. I always took care of the people. I always looked out for the people. And in return, they looked out for me. If something happened and I needed to know who did it and why, they would tell me. Most definitely. I wouldn't even have to be at work. Even now to this day, I'm not even a DC cop. But I know everything
Mm,
that goes on in the city.
absolutely. Mm.
I
In
did a lot of work, a
2000,
lot of giving back to DC, to the community, whether it's feeding the homeless or giving school supplies at schools, or feeding the patrol area in the hood, the hood folk pizza on Fridays. It's just
right.
about being with the people, showing them that I'm you me.
It's a beautiful thing, champ. It is. Um, let's see. 2019, you won Police Officer of the Year, first Black African American female to do so in your department with over 3,000 men, 3,000 officers, excuse me. How were you feeling, champ? I know that got to be an amazing feeling. How will take us back to that moment?
I'm gonna tell you, it's one of the greatest experiences I've ever felt in my life. Being the first African American female to win Officer of the Year out of 3,000 police officers,
That's
to
powerful.
be the first African American in
Powerful.
anything, it's a feeling that no one can understand unless they've been the first at something. But
Right.
to be the first to represent for your race, especially through all the things that we go through as black people, you know what I'm saying? It felt great. It felt like, wow, all the hard work that I put in for the community is showing, when people are acknowledging it.
Um, you resigned from the MPD November 1st, 2020. You didn't really like the way the direction the department was headed in following the George Floyd protest. You took a stand.
Love you.
You
It's my little
resigned.
shorty right here.
How you doing?
One of my
What's her
little
name?
fighters.
Tell her to shout her name and her
Shout out to
Instagram out for,
Yesterday.
for all the fans.
Oh, come shout
What's,
out your Instagram. Oh, hold up. Put that on.
how
My
you doing?
Instagram is YE. Hi,
How you doing? World Fight
how
fans, how
you
you
doing?
doing? Shout your Instagram and all your
Good.
social medias out for the fans.
Tell me your weight and stuff.
My Instagram is YES_A_Lee.
Tell me your weight class.
My weight class is 119, and I am ranked number 3 in the nation at 119.
Who's your favorite fighter, champ?
Tiara Brown.
Tiara Brown, absolutely.
Yes,
All
yes.
right, champ. Nice to meet you, champ.
Nice to meet you too.
Have a good one.
Bye, guys.
That's my girl right there.
Absolutely. Tiara Brown's her favorite fighter. Yes.
Yeah.
So you took a stand, champ. You know you didn't like the way your police department, the direction was going, and you took a stand. You're now back home though. You're with the police again in your hometown. Just take us through that whole thing. You know, when you retired to the feeling now. Did you, you know, how was it? How was that time, and how are you feeling now?
Um, you know, I it was a hard decision for me, right? Hold on, let me fix my hat.
You good, champ? You straight?
I don't want to be looking crazy on here.
Nah, you good, champ?
Even
You
though
ain't looking crazy.
I know I look crazy. I just finished sparring, so I know I
Right.
look crazy.
I was sparring today.
Um, oh, it was good. It was good.
Okay.
So the thing about it, I didn't like the way that I didn't like the direction that the department was going in. I had seen too many things that didn't align with my values and my morals, right? And then when I tried to bring it to the attention of superiors, to be told something on the lines like, okay, you can tell, write a statement, put your name on it so everybody know you're the one who telling. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
To have to feel like, oh, well, I'm going to have to watch my own back at work
Right. We
for
don't
doing
stand
the
for
right
that.
thing. Ooh, where they do that at? You
Absolutely.
know, and it was just a tough thing for me. It was a tough thing for me because at the end of the day, when you do wrong, but you still are to be treated like a human being. You still are to be treated with kindness, you know, with respect. I got plenty of cousins out here doing all types of stuff. And at the end of the day, I want to know that the police are going to treat them fairly, regardless of what they're doing. So that's how I patrol, as if this my family. You know, how would I want my cousins, May, Pookie, and all them, how would I want them to be treated? You know what I'm saying? I got cousins with dreads. I got cousins that sag their pants. That don't mean they thugs.
Hmm.
That don't mean they thugs. That don't mean that. I
Absolutely
used to
not.
have dreads. My favorite color to wear black. Am I a thug? Am I violent? No. When
Hmm.
that bill go off, I'm violent. But other than that, as an average person, no, I'm not.
Right. Hmm.
You know, and it's just I didn't agree with the way the department was doing things, and so it didn't stand right with me. I had to roll because I had to be able to sleep at the end of the night. I have to go to sleep. I have to go to sleep with a good conscience. I'm a child of God, and if it don't align with His word and what He say, I can't roll with it.
That's powerful. That's powerful,
And I
champ.
got
And
a
I just
lot of
want to.
flack. I got a lot of heat. A lot of heat.
Right.
They were dogging my name. They was talking so bad about me. They was dogging me, making memes about me on social media, all that. They was dogging me.
Hmm.
But you know what? At the end of the day, I took that on the chin because I know I did the
Hmm.
right thing.
September 25th, you're gonna give one on the chin right in front of them.
Most definitely.
But you got some amazing accomplishments so far, champ. Let's talk about a few of them real quick. You know, so you on a Steve Harvey show, the talk show. Talk about that. What was that like?
Oh, that was awesome. Steve Harvey did a segment on me. Um, I'm not sure if you saw my BET documentary, my Queen
Um, I
Latifah.
I did not, but tell the fans about it.
Oh, you have to check it out. It's called Gloves Off. Oh, I think we lagging. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, champ. I can hear you, champ. You can hear me?
Yeah. Hi, Terry. Oh, my baby's in the gym with me. Yeah. So it's called Gloves Off,
Okay.
and it was produced by Queen Latifah, a part of her Queen collection. It's come on the Hallmark Channel, BBC, BET Her. Um, it plays often, but
Mm.
you can look it up on YouTube. I was also
And
featured in the
I'm going
Olay.
to, we're gonna check it out as soon as we get off. We're gonna check it out as soon as we get
Yeah,
off. So you
it's
also
dope.
had a
It's really
partnership with Olay.
Nadine and Ugana. Those are the two who. Those are my two girls, Nadine and Ugana,
Okay.
who directed the film.
Mm. That's beautiful. Well, we didn't actually get a chance to check it out, but we are most definitely gonna check it out as soon as we get off, champ. Also, you did Olay. How's that
I
partnership?
did
Is that
Olay.
still there? You had over 5 million views on YouTube in the North American Olay commercial. Talk to us about that.
Oh
How
man,
was
see,
that?
I didn't even know that. That was great.
Absolutely.
You know, they did a segment on. It was called Voices of the People, and I spoke about being a police officer, but also being a black female. Because at the end of the day, I can change jobs. I can take off my uniform. I'm still black. I'm
Right.
still going to be a black person. So it's like, how do you balance that? Equality, justice, peace. You have to have all of that. Because I know what it feels like I said in the commercial, I know what it feels like to be black, to be minding my business and getting stopped for nothing, for nothing, without breaking a crime. I know what that feels like. I've been there. And the commercial, it was very powerful. Olay was doing their thing. Shout out to Olay.
Shout out to Olay. So, Champ, you also did something else amazing. You donated your gloves to the Old Street Museum, which is
Oh yeah.
up in there with a lot of memorabilia. Michael Jackson, Michael Jackson memorabilia, Prince memorabilia, the Beatles. Can you talk to us about that?
Yeah. I mean, I can't even believe that happened. I can't even believe that me, little old me, that they would want something for me to go in a museum of that caliber. A museum of that caliber. I've been in that museum, and
Right.
every time you walk in, it's like you're just starstruck to see the stuff that's in there, and to know that my gloves are in there. I just know that God blesses me in
Mm,
many ways, and He's not done with me, and I'm not done with Him.
right. Yeah, a lot of people's gonna see those gloves, Champ, amongst a lot of powerful people in that museum, and they have no thought but to think how powerful you must have been. So that was a great move, Champ. That was a great donation, and we're glad you did that.
Thank
So
you.
let's jump into it. Let's talk the current state of boxing right now. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about Amanda Serrano. She just fought on the Jake Paul Woodley undercard, the co-main event. She did her thing, dominating
Yes, you
fashion.
do.
She hasn't lost in 10 years, two knockouts shy of the woman's record.
She
She's a
gonna get it.
unified
She gonna break that record.
she's unified champion. Carissa Shields, two-time Olympic gold medalist, two weight division undisputed female champion, never been done in men or women boxing.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
she's probably not missing too many accolades on her wall. Katie Taylor. Let's talk about Katie Taylor. She's also undisputed and has a fight this weekend.
Absolutely.
What do these females mean to you, champ? And how much do they inspire you? And more importantly, what do you think the impact these women have on the female community?
Well, I would say this. All those women deserve everything that they have because they fought hard for it. As a female athlete, not just boxer, but as a female athlete, especially in combat sports, we have to go above and beyond, right? We can't give 100%, not even 110. We have to give 120, 120. We can't train five days out of the week. No, we have to train 7 days out of the week. In boxing, there's a lot of people that still feel women shouldn't box. A lot of people tell a woman go clean, go cook. Well, tell a boxer that, a female boxer, it's like, where's the equality? Where's the equality? How is that fair? How is that right? We deserve to do sports just the way anybody deserves to do sports. Um, and I'm proud of all of them. But you forgot to mention Raquel Miller. See, she's a secret.
Raquel, I know about Raquel Miller. Raquel Miller, your stablemate.
She coming up. Yeah.
Raquel Miller's the truth. Listen, I watched Raquel Miller since Broadway boxing. Raquel Miller's the truth. I like Raquel
Yeah.
Miller. I didn't
But see,
forget to
she just
mention her
hasn't had
name.
her time to shine yet. She just hasn't
Right.
had her time to shine yet. But that time is coming.
Absolutely. Her time's coming. And it's a few more. She's not the only one. I just said I just named the most accomplished ones,
Oh
that are
yeah, I know.
inspiring
I
all the
know.
females right now. Not to say that Raquel's not inspiring the females, because her shows are inspiring alone when she walks out. And yeah, she's the truth.
That's
I
my
like
best
Raquel
friend, so
Miller.
of course I was gonna give her a shout out. You know that now.
Absolutely. Shout out to Raquel Miller. Hopefully she joins the show.
Pretty beast.
Speaking of Serrano on the T Woodley undercard, T Woodley and Jake Paul undercard. What you did you watch the fight?
Almost definitely.
Who
Amanda,
just
that's
helped
my
win the
girl.
fight?
We Amanda. Oh, you mean T Woodley or Jay or
Right.
Paul?
Who you think won the fight? Woodley or Paul?
Man, see here you go trying to start some stuff. Hey, you trying to start some stuff.
It's just your opinion, champ. They ain't gonna be mad. They can't be mad at you for that. Do you want to see a
Um,
rematch?
yes,
Do you want to see the rematch?
I want to see a
Okay.
rematch. I want to see a
Okay, that's
rematch
fair.
because okay, this is what I will say. I won't say who I think won and who I think lost. This is what
Okay.
I'm gonna point out on both of their behalf, right? I think Woodley, if he knew more about boxing, he gonna be a beast. And
I can
it's
see
his
that.
first time boxing. MMA, they're not used to throwing hands because they have so many other weapons. Bows, they can bite stand you, throw you on the ground, choke you out, and all that. So it's like he had to get used to it, but he did good.
Right.
And I can
Did
tell if he need to learn how to throw his hands more. Other than that, he gonna be a beast. Watch, I'm telling you. As far as the Paul brother, it's like, it's like I appreciate his dedication to how he trains because I've watched how he trains, right? But at, like the fact that he just tweeted last night, "I'm retiring." I can't take you serious.
right.
You were retiring from boxing. You just started.
Right.
So it's like, is this a game to you or it's not? And I just feel like with that tweet, it's a game to him. He's not serious. And I love boxing, so I can't let you make it into a clown sport. For you to
Right.
say, "Oh, I'm retiring," just out the blue. Oh, because you got all the money that you wanted to get. That you don't really care about the sport. You got all the money that you want to get for you. Now you want to just retire. It's like, I don't know.
I
I don't
think he
know.
has a. I think he has a different approach to the game, champ. I think he came from the YouTube community, and he has a different approach to it. So I think he does a lot of things to troll the community, which keeps his name hot, people talking, makes more people want to be interested in fighting him. So I think he got a lot of antics, champ. But
Yeah.
also I think
But I do like the attention. I like the
he's
attention
bringing
that
to
he's
women's
brought to the
boxing and
sport.
boxing. Right.
Exactly. So you know what? I appreciate him for that. I'm sorry.
Right.
Regardless of his antics, I don't care about his antics. I
Right.
care about the fact that he has brought more attention to boxing and the fact that he let a female fight is the co-main event. Props to him.
Amazing. A great one
Props to
too.
him. Because you know what? There are a lot of pro men who won't do that. Who've been in the game, who know how we struggle, who know
Yep.
our struggles, our pains, and they still won't do it. So the fact that he did, it shows a lot about him and his character.
Right. Absolutely. Um. So the undisputed Katie Taylor fights Jennifer Hahn this weekend. Undisputed. Katie Taylor is a friend of yours and a supporter. How excited are you to see her back in the ring?
I'm very excited. I think that too many people are always like, it's like they never give her a break. Katie Taylor has fought dogs ever since she turned pro. And now that she's fighting Jennifer Hahn, who a lot of people say, well, she hasn't fought anybody. Jennifer Hahn hasn't fought in a long time. Y'all want, it's like other people fight people who in the same instances. Do they not? Why does Katie
Absolutely.
have to fight dogs every last fight? Other fighters aren't fighting dogs every last fight. Come on now, who does it? No one. But they want her to do it? That's not right. I love Katie Taylor. Me and her, we grew up in amateurs together. She's always been a strong supporter of me. I'm always going to be a strong supporter of her. She's a Christian. She puts her faith first. There's nothing I can say bad about Katie.
Absolutely. She's an amazing fighter. Speaking of amazing
And
fighters,
person.
another rising prospect, female prospect, Savannah Marshall. What's your thoughts on her?
Oh, most definitely. I grew up with Savannah too. I talked to her on Instagram. We talk about things back and forth. And like I said, for the most part, women support women. Now you have some people who beef with other women because it's on a personal level, but for the most part, women support women because we know the struggle.
Right.
We know the struggle. Savannah Marshall, I can't wait to see the rematch between her and Clarissa.
Hmm.
Everybody can't wait to see that.
Right.
That's gonna be a great fight.
That's going to be an amazing fight. There's a lot of great fights to be made with the females. Speaking of great fights made with the females, you are 2-2 against top ranks rising star Michaela Meyer in the amateurs. Is that on your bucket list, champ? Is that your dream
Most
fight?
definitely.
Okay.
Most definitely. It's not a dream fight because I know how it's going to end, but
Right.
it is on my bucket. It's on my bucket list.
Okay.
We're 2 for 2. She's won 2. I've won 2. She's a great boxer.
Yeah, she
I
is
don't throw
amazing
shade.
boxer.
I know she's a great
Amazing
boxer.
boxer.
I don't throw shade.
How
She's a
you
great
how you how do you
boxer.
how,
I'm a
how do you
great
feel she's
boxer.
doing? How you feel how you feel she got a little better since you fought her?
I think that she's doing good. I think her last fight wasn't all that great, but
Okay.
people have bad fights. You know what I'm saying? Not my last fight, but the fight before that, I didn't fight great. I was going through a breakup with one of my coaches. And I say breakup like we was in a relationship, but any
Right.
breakup
It
is
is
a
a
breakup.
relationship. It is a
It's a
relationship.
relationship. I was stressed, depressed, I was sad, crying, and all of that.
Right.
No shame in my game. So when I fought, I did not fight good.
Okay.
Everybody has that fight where they don't fight good. But as far as how do I think she's doing, I think she's doing good.
Okay. Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence Jr., the biggest fight to be made in boxing, deemed by the fans. What's your thoughts on that fight? How does that play out? Who
Do you
wins?
do you think that fight will happen? That's the question.
I do. I do. I
You
think it's
do?
gonna I do. I think it's gonna happen. It could possibly happen late next year. I feel.
Well, I am going to be straight honest with you. I have no idea who will win that fight,
Is that the biggest
but
fight
I
you think?
definitely want to see it. I
Absolutely.
definitely,
Everybody wants to see
most
that fight.
definitely, most definitely. Terrence
Mm,
Crawford, Earl Spence. I have no idea who would win that fight, and I love watching both of them. And that's the thing. Like
absolutely.
how can you say who gonna win?
Hmm.
It's like Shakur Stevenson fighting Tank. Who would win? It's like I don't know.
Right. Right.
Great fight
Okay.
to be
So
made though.
speaking of Spence, how were you disappointed that he got an eye injury before the Pacquiao fight? That was a mega fight. A lot of people were prepared for that fight. A lot of people were amped about that fight. Were you upset about that?
I wasn't upset. I was hoping that that he would be better. But at the end of the day, I thought he was gonna win anyway. I thought he was gonna drop Pacquiao. So,
Right.
and then look what happened in the fight.
Right. Hmm. Speaking of the fight, Ugas won. How you think his performance was?
I think his performance was good. I think he's
Okay.
underrated, and I think that he's showing people now, like, hey, I'm here. What do you mean? I'm here. I
Right.
deserve to be here. And now I believe other people are gonna start saying that boy's name.
Who would you like to see Ugas fight next?
Okay, so I'm gonna say this, right? Styles make fights, and I want to see Keith Thurman back in the
Hmm.
game.
That's an amazing fight.
Don't forget about Keith now. Can't
Nope.
forget about Keith.
Absolutely.
I think a lot of people have forgot about him because he had so many injuries.
That did play a lot of part in. Keith was on top. Keith was on
He was
top.
on top. He was
Keith
on
was on
top.
top. After the
He was
Danny
on top.
Garcia fight, he suffered, some injuries. He's been inactive, fighting once a year, once every 2 years. But Keith is a dog. Keith is a dog. Keith is a pure boxer. I like Keith's style. Keith was always one of my favorite fighters. Let's talk about a couple of big fights coming up. Stephen Fulton versus Omar Figueroa. Brandon Figueroa, excuse me. Big fight. What do you feel about that fight?
I think it'll be a good fight. I think it's gonna be a good fight, but Fulton all day.
Fulton all day?
Only because I know him. I know how he trains. Yeah.
Absolutely. Shout out to Stephen Fulton. Shout out to both those guys. Brandon Figueroa, they both dogs. I think that's an amazing fight to be made. And we're gonna see. Another fight, the trilogy. Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury.
I'm
Let's
not even
talk
talking
about
about that.
it. You don't want to
I'm
see
not.
it?
I'm no.
No? Okay.
No.
Not
No,
interested?
because I'm not interested. The
Okay.
first two I was interested. The last one, no, I'm not because there's too many excuses. I don't even know which excuse to go with because I've always been a Wilder fan, But when you lose, you lose. I don't want to hear nothing about this. The water, the glove, the suit was too heavy. I don't like when fighters make excuses like that, because
Right.
it's sour. And then for him to, I think the straw that broke the camel's back when he said what he said about his coach. That man loved
Okay.
you. That man didn't do nothing to hurt you, man. Come on. And a lot of times when you tell people the truth, but it's not what they want to hear, and they have a lot of yes men in their corner, and you be the one to tell them the truth, they hate you. That's not cool. So no,
Right.
I will not be watching. I don't have no type of urgency to see that fight.
Okay. Canelo Alvarez, Caleb Plant for Undisputed. Let's talk about that. Another big fight. Who you got in that fight? How does that fight happen?
Man, that fight will be off the hook. Okay, I like both fighters, but I am a Canelo fan. Yes, I was very disappointed with the meat thing. With the it was the meat. I don't know if it was the meat. I'm skeptical about that. But they said it was the meat. So who am I? I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a FDA or whatever. I don't know anything about it. But I do like Canelo for it. But it could be a split. Do I think somebody will get knocked out? Nope. Nope. I think it'll go.
No,
I think it will go to distance.
no knockout.
I don't
No
think it'll be a
knockout.
knockout. I
Okay,
think it'll go to distance.
that's fair. That's a fair assessment. We can't skip by this fight right here. Jamel Herring, Shakur Stevenson, two friends turn foe for a night,
Yeah,
for a
I don't like
training
that.
camp in a night. You don't like
Yeah,
that fight? You don't like the idea of the friends
no,
fight? And which part you don't like? You don't like
I
the
don't like the
fight, or you don't
friends
like that they're
fighting.
friends fighting?
Oh, I love to fight, but I don't like the friends fighting. The once was friends, now foes for real, for real. Like I watch the
You
Twitter.
think?
I
You
see what.
think? You think?
Yeah.
You don't think it's
Oh
gonna be over
yeah.
that?
Do
You
I
don't think
think
it's
it's
gonna,
fake beef?
no, no. I said, you don't think that it's gonna be put to bed that night when the winner's hand get raised? I think they're gonna put it to bed. I think they're friends. I think that they're around the same people. I think they've been around each other for a little while. I think they're gonna put it to bed after the fight.
Man, are you on Twitter?
I see what's going on, but you got to build up the fight.
Yeah, you have to
Shakur,
build up the fight, but you still have to do it respectfully. You
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 do
can
have
build
to
up
do
a
it
fight, talk
respectfully, but
smack,
you
but
do have
certain
to do it
things you can't call
respectfully.
somebody dumb, stupid, and all stuff like that. No, you're
Right,
crossing the line.
right. I can see what you're saying, but you got to build the
Crossing the
fight,
line.
and I don't know how to tell someone how not to build the fight.
But the
But I
fight will
do.
be built because of who they are, because they're two great fighters. So the fight is already gonna be built. There's no need to go hard like that.
Right. Well, the way I see it is Mel's a little quiet. Mel's humble. He's respectful. So I feel someone has to be the mouthpiece, and I feel that's what Shakur's doing. And I feel Mel's just like yourself. He's a humble guy. He don't have a crazy mouthpiece, and he's gonna go in the ring and give it everything he got. And he's gonna do what he got to do. And Shakur's
Most
gonna do the
definitely.
same. But I feel Shakur's just, I feel he's just dragging the fight. That's all I feel. But I do believe they're gonna be friends after the fight. You don't think so? We'll see.
I
Um,
hope I
I
hope
hope
that
so
they will
too.
be because
I think
they've
so.
been
They're
friends
around
for too long.
they're
Come
around
on now.
they're in the same camp. They're around the same people. I don't feel it. I
Right.
don't think Bomac and Terrence Crawford and the rest of the team's gonna let it go that far. I feel like they operate
Right.
on family time. Okay. We know your favorite fight is Ann Wolf. Shout out to Ann
Yeah,
Wolf.
dog. Shout out to
Who's
Ann
your
Wolf all
Ann
day.
Wolf? Amazing. I would have loved to seen Ali and Ann Wolf. Ann Wolf. I'm sorry.
Oh man, that would have been
Ali
a
and
great
Ann Wolf.
fight.
That was the fight to make. I'm so mad that didn't happen.
Yeah.
So we know that's your favorite fighter, but who's your current favorite fighter, both male and female, right now?
Oh, you can't ask me that. Current?
Current, right now.
You mean like who would I just stay up and watch and don't care that I go to church the next day
You don't.
tired because Saturday
Who's
the
that?
fight starts
Who's
so
that
late?
person for you? Who's that person for you?
Well, for female, Amanda, because that's
Okay,
the only reason I stayed up on Saturday.
right.
Went to church tired, bags
I'm not mad at
undefined,
that. Can't be mad at that.
tired.
Amanda's
Simply because
amazing.
she's amazing. I give credit when it's due. When I was an amateur, I was watching her. She's never lost. Not only that, she has belts in so many weight classes, and she's done so many other sports. She didn't just start; she been doing it. Plus
MMA,
she's
jiu-jitsu.
all that. She's
Shout out to
humble. She's
Amanda.
respectful. She trained hard. Shout out to Amanda. As far as man, that is a tough question for you to ask me. Current. I can't. I cannot. Nope.
Okay. Who's your favorite prospect right now? Who's your favorite person on the rise right now? I'll just ask you that. Is it? Well, let's talk about the Ortizes and who do we have? Ennis, Jaron Boots Ennis.
Oh, Boots.
Boots. Boots is the real
I love
deal.
Boots.
I think Boots might be the real deal. I think Boots might be the
Might
real
be.
deal.
Shout out to Boots.
Shout
Listen,
out to Javon Ennis.
Boots is no joke.
No
Mm-mm,
joke.
mm-mm,
And he's
mm-mm.
big, champ.
That boy
He's
there,
big.
that, we was on the same car
Mm-hmm.
long time ago.
Absolutely.
Boots, Boots. That's all I can say. Boots.
What about
Hey, whoever
Keyshawn?
he
What
fight,
about Keyshawn? What about Keyshawn Davis? I like him.
Keyshawn. Oh,
Keyshawn.
most definitely. I love Keyshawn.
Mm,
Most definitely. Humble fighter.
humble.
Good parents. Most definitely.
I think he's gonna be. I think he's gonna be a problem in the pros. I think he's gonna be
Almost
a
definitely
problem.
gonna be a problem. He was a problem in amateur. His little brother a problem.
Right. Kelvin, right?
Superman, little Superman.
Okay. What about Christopher Colbert from Brooklyn? Primetime.
Prime time. Prime time been a problem since he was in amateur. I really want. I don't even eat chicken, but I want some of that chicken that he served at his spot.
Right. Shout
And
out
I
to
don't even eat chicken.
Primetime chicken.
Prime time chicken. I want it just because it sounds good.
All right. Before we go, champ, we're just gonna ask you a few questions outside of work and boxing. So, what are some things Tiara loves to do in her spare time?
So I like to make music. I make music. If you're not from my hometown, then you don't know that.
Okay.
I used to be in a rap group. Me and two of my cousins, we rap. We used to go to the clubs and all that, rapping at people's parties and all that. I like fishing. I like being outside. I like looking at what God made. I like being outside with listening to the birds. I just like nature. I
What kind of
love
fish you
cooking
like?
because I like to eat.
What
I
kind of
like
fish you like catching?
bass. My favorite fish to catch is bass.
Bass. Okay.
But my favorite fish to eat is bass and salmon.
Salmon. I
I
love
eat that like
salmon.
all
Salmon.
week. Every all week I eat fish.
What are some things Tiara needs to do in her spare time? To do more of on your spare time? What are some things you need to do more of on your spare time?
I think that I'm not that good of a friend. I get so caught up in things that I'm doing or my dreams, my goals. I get so caught up in trying to obtain these things that I don't give enough time to my friends. My friends that have been there for me since day one. I don't give enough time to my family, because I'm always on the move. I always feel like if I have spare time, I need to be training. I need to be focused. I need to be sleep, getting rest for my body, and that's not cool. You always have to give time for people that you love because look at COVID. COVID killing people left and right.
Right. Absolutely.
COVID killing people left and right, and you never know when God's gonna call you home. So I think that I am slacking on being there for the people that I love. Being a part of their life.
What's your favorite cheat meal, champ? After working hard, what's your favorite thing to cheat on?
Vegan pizza.
Vegan pizza? That's the
Mm.
that's the biggest cheat meal?
Mm.
They got good pizza in Florida?
What? Mellow mushroom. Shout out to mellow mushroom.
Shout out to Mellow Mushrooms. We gotta try that one day.
Give a shout outs all day.
Last question, champ. Who's your favorite person to listen to? It could be artist, public figure, social media
E.T.
influencer,
Eric
actor.
Thomas.
Who's that?
Now you didn't even have to finish. E.T. Hip hop preacher Eric Thomas.
Eric Thomas. Shout out to Eric Thomas.
That's my dude. I know you know who I'm talking about. Eric Thomas. E.T.
I don't know who you're
hip hop
talking
preacher.
about, champ, but I gotta check him
Number
out now
one
that you're talking
motivational
about him.
speaker in the world. Number one motivational speaker in the world.
I might have heard him, but didn't know who it was. I do listen to some motivational speeches when I'm running.
I'm telling you, this guy, it don't matter what you're going through. He gonna get you out of it.
What's his name again?
He done been through,
what's his name again, champ? Eric Thomas.
Look him up on Instagram. Eric Thomas, hip hop preacher. They call him the hip hop preacher. That's my dude.
Eric Thomas, hands down. We're gonna check him out, champ. We're gonna check him out during the run.
Number one motivational speaker in the world.
World Fight fans here with the amazing humanitarian police officer during the day, prize fighter at night, Tiara T. Baby Brown. It was an honor to meet you, champ.
The honor's mine, most definitely. And sorry about last night.
It's all right. The people don't even have to know about that, champ.
All right.
Have a good one.
Good night.